is independent, and we will not politically interfere.
Spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre rejecting the latest questions about classified documents, including materials found at former Vice President Mike Pence's home in Indiana, where attorneys say a small number of documents had classified markings.
The documents were collected at Pence's home by the FBI after Pence's team notified the National Archives of the discovery last week. Following revelations of classified material at the home and a former office of President Biden dating back to his time as vice president, Pence directed his attorneys to review records stored in his home in the office of his political advocacy group.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The attorneys say Pence was not aware the documents had been inadvertently boxed and transported to the home. President Biden meeting with Democratic congressional leaders days after the U.S. hit its borrowing limit. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says default would be a catastrophe for working families.
And playing brinksmanship, taking hostages, is being risky and not caring about average people.
He's criticizing a Republican push to make a deal with spending cuts. Senate GOP leader Mitch McConnell says he thinks the solution has to come from the House Speaker and the president. The head of Ticketmaster's parent company blaming bots for the pre-sale collapse of Taylor Swift tickets. They had more than 3 billion requests.
This is what led to a terrible consumer experience, which we deeply regret.
Live Nation President Joe Birch called at a Senate hearing on the ticket industry and concerns about competition. The Justice Department approved the merger of Ticketmaster and Live Nation in 2010 and is investigating last year's meltdown. A mixed day overall on Wall Street. But for the Dow, 3 wins in a row, up about 104 points at the closing bell. America is listening to Fox News.
My friend had his home stolen. The crime is home title theft. It's real. It's horrendous, but it's real, and it's everywhere. Now, luckily, this was just a demo, but I saw how criminals all around the world target American homeowners, and that's why I protect my home with Home Title Lock, and you need to as well. And a thief can simply forge your signature on a legal document claiming you sold your home to them. Homeowners insurance and common identity theft programs do not protect you, but Home Title Lock does. So protect yourself. Just go to their website. It's HometitleLock.com/Sean, S-E-A-N. Verify your home's title is still safely in your name. Then just register your address for a free, no obligation home title report for your files. That is a $100 value, absolutely free. That's HometitleLock.com/Sean, HometitleLock.com/Sean, S-E-A-N.
President Biden is urging Congress to pass a ban on assault weapons, reintroduced by Senator Dianne Feinstein after a second mass shooting in 2 days in her home state, California.
San Mateo County Sheriff Christina Corpus says suspected shooter Chin Lu Zhao used a legally owned semi-automatic handgun to open fire at the Mountain Mushroom Farm in Half Moon Bay, his place of work, and at a nearby location, killing 7 people and injuring 1 other.
The victim at the hospital is out of surgery and stable.
Noting the victims, 1 woman and 7 men are of Hispanic and Asian descent, but the gender of the survivor is unclear.
Only known connection between the victims and the suspect is that they may have been co-workers.
Adding evidence suggests workplace violence. The county's district attorney says Zhao will be arraigned Wednesday on charges still to be determined.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. The Saturday shooting at a dance studio that left 11 dead also remains under investigation, though that gunman later killed himself. The man accused of a racist attack that killed 23 people at a Texas Walmart in 2019 is now expected to plead guilty to federal charges after the death penalty was taken off the table. However, he could still end up on death row if convicted on state charges. 2022, a more dangerous year for journalism.
At least 67 news media workers were killed last year, according to the Committee to Protect Journalism. That's up 50% from the year before. At least 13 journalist deaths were reported in Mexico, 15 in Ukraine, 7 in Haiti, some killed by gangs, at least 2 shot by police, and 1 death in the United States. Las Vegas Review-Journal reporter Jeff German stabbed to death outside his home in September. The suspect there is a county administrator who lost a Democratic Party primary after German reported on accusations of a hostile work environment and an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. Chris Foster, Fox News.
Recapping stocks, the Dow up 104, but the S&P and the NASDAQ finished lower. Elisa Brady, Fox News.
Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, liftoff.
Check. I literally just create madness.
Well, they're up.
I'm going to go off here.
They don't have a great quarterback.
I got to take a break. I'm getting in trouble.
To win the Big Ten, you first got to win the West.
Bad Bunny. Have you heard his name in a while?
No.
Has it bothered you?
No. Defensively, they got to come in with some confidence.
Is that even analytics?
I'm in a parking garage, kind of lost.
Terrence Shannon, Matthew Meyer, R.J. Melendez, Coleman Hawkins.
These trophy presentations aren't over.
I didn't come here to go 5-7.
I'm so proud of Illinois football right now. I'm so tired of Joel Embiid.
We're not taking Patrick Corbin.
I want to bet the Bears.
Oh.
You are Reba McEntire's niece.
Roshan Russell.
Coach Bielema.
You no longer salute to yourself.
What? We got all kinds of things for you here.
There's a lot of glass.
Oh.
Guys, we have breaking news.
Uh-oh.
It's The Drive.
Smack Dogs.
Thunderstruck. Yeah, Thunderstruck.
Oh my, I'm back in the hot seat.
How's it feel?
It doesn't feel as good as it did over on that seat. I'm starting to like that seat a little bit more, so we're going to start doing that more often, but you've got to bail out.
You want to be a
here.
shooting guard now.
Right.
That's fine. I just got to learn how to play point guard. You got to give me the reps. Let me see the floor.
I'm the old guy that can't facilitate the offense anymore. I just need to stand. Just stand and shoot. That's all I'm going to do now going forward. But no, it's you're taking off.
We've just rode you heavy through the years, and now we're fine with letting you slide the last years out of your contract.
It's one of those where you're overpaying me for the contract for what I'm actually achieving and doing on the show. So just bury him at shooting guard. Don't give him the ball often. We got a studio audience today. We got the Watts Copier guy here, so that's always good to see him. And then my mom is here, so she decided with the weather coming in and Andrew with a game tonight, she would just ride with me. So part of the perils to that is you have to sit here and listen to me for 2 hours, which I think she does. She claims she does anyway, though she never really provides proof that she's listening. So I don't know for sure. And then Austin Berkland, our buddy, is here, which we'll visit with here in a second, kind of catch you up on Austin, on what he's doing. But first things first, before we get into some sports and everything related to that, Stevie J approached me with 4 free tickets to the Illinois-Ohio State game tonight. Now, this is a 6 o'clock start time. And not only 4 free tickets, but a parking spot in the Northwest parking lot. So that is about as good as you get. And the tickets are basically like on the top row of what used to be B, so they're great tickets. So here's what we're going to do on the U of I Illini Link text line at 359-2255. That's 217-359-2255. Now here's the key. You have to get to our studios in Philo by 4 o'clock today to pick these up. So if you cannot get here by 4, then just don't even enter the contest, if that's okay, because I know we'll have quite a few that are able to get down here. But if you could just maybe type in Illini at 359-2255, we'll take the 10th Illini, and you are a winner of the tickets. I'll let you, or I'll notify you at the first break we take and set that up. But of course, Philo, and I'm assuming everybody knows where it is, just south of Urbana. Just come on down. We're just come down Main Street, right by the tavern, across from the bank. So that's where we're at, and you'll be able to pick those tickets up. Illinois and Ohio State, Derek Piper. How important of a game with an Illinois team that is 4-4, I believe, in the Big Ten now, and a squad that, as we know, and we talked yesterday, has shown a lot of inconsistency, but some of the inconsistency has been good and some has been bad. And so I don't know what to expect from this team tonight, but you've got an Ohio State team coming in. What are we expecting in your mind of what the Buckeyes will show the Illini tonight?
It's a huge game for both sides, quad one opportunity for both. You look at Ohio State, had lost 5 in a row. They've played a ton of close games here of late and really – through their losing streak, dropped a number of those in painful fashion down the stretch. And they bounced back at home over the weekend, smacking Iowa. They put up 56 points in the second half. Ooh. I know Iowa's not great defensively. It was a fast-paced, high-scoring game, but You look at Ohio State, they're 7th in the country in offensive efficiency, have one of the best freshmen in the country in Bryce Sensabaugh, and he's currently a projected lottery pick. I was looking at the Athletics mock draft, and he's 14th overall currently, someone that's pushing the lottery. And I mean, look, they had Malachi Branham last year, one and done.
He's not back, is he?
No, he's not
Okay,
here.
that's good.
But they have another guy that's a big-bodied, physical forward, 6'6", like 235, and can just score it from everywhere. He's electric on his jump shot from mid-range, from three, shot like 51, 52% from three in Big Ten play. The interesting storyline for Ohio State is Zed Key is questionable because late in that Iowa game, he tweaked his knee and needed help off the floor. So he's questionable tonight. There has been no official status. I mean, the teams with the earlier tip tonight will be taking the floor here in about an hour or hour and a half. So before we're out of here, I know that you're going to finish out the show in the second hour.
Right.
There probably will be news on whether Zed Key is going to play or not tonight. But that one is a huge storyline because outside of him, they'd have to start a true freshman at center, Felix Okpara, who is a talented guy, was like a top 50 recruit, but he's pretty slender. You think about freshmen coming in and playing the five. He's like 6'10", 6'11", 220. And him having to guard Dane in the post would be a big mismatch for Illinois, especially with his physicality. He's gotten into foul trouble at times. And outside of him, if Key's not available at all, they're really thin up front. So I think that that's a huge storyline for Illinois. I was digging through some of Dane's stats. I didn't know this until I looked it up last night. Illinois is 7-0 when he scores in double figures.
Are they really?
3-0 in high major games. They haven't lost when he hits double figures. I'm not telling you that if he hits 10 points, you just hit the exits and
you're
go
gone.
to the local establishment and celebrate the win.
I mean, I'm good with that.
But I think that combined with
That's
Zed Key's status and then Dane, big bounce back spot for him after getting kind of schooled by Trace Jackson Davis. So I'm looking at that, and we can dive into more on the Buckeyes as we go along, but they're a team that's in a similar position to Illinois where a talented freshman class hit the portal hard, did bring back some guys and like Zed Key, Justice Suing, who missed last year, but he's a talented guy. And,
I like that dude.
He's a good player. And I look at Ohio State. They're a physical team. That stands out to me. Illinois got out physicaled in the Indiana game. They'll have to be ready for that. And obviously going to have to be locked in defensively for a team that can really score it.
Good thing you broke down Okpara because I came in with all of his stats ready to go, but I went ahead and let you shine with that one. I want to ask you about Zed Key. How do you, a healthy Zed Key, how do you compare him to some of the Big Ten guys, the big guys in the Big Ten, if you will? Obviously, Zach Edey kind of starts that list, but the way Trace Jackson Davis is playing, he's been a guy that I've always, Trace I'm talking about, I've always just wanted more out of him. Not really. I mean, he plays for Indiana, so I could care less. But you get what I'm saying. I'm almost to the point of, well, you got to show me more before I just anoint you one of these guys that I think is one of the best players in the Big Ten. But certainly he's on a roll right now, unlike any other with what he's done the last two games. But how would you put a guy like Zed Key up against some of the Big Ten centers in this league?
It's loaded up front as it always is. So he's not in that top tier where you have Trace, you have Edey, you have Hunter Dickinson, and even in that next group, you're talking about Cliff Amori.
Yeah.
I think that he's probably in that second, maybe bordering on third tier. He gets overlooked in this league.
I agree.
He's very steady. He's
totally agree.
A physical guy that scores it well around the basket. He's really good on the offensive glass. The big thing for him is challenge is he's only 6'8", so defending in the post is something that can be tough for him. But if you're trying to play bully ball with him, it's not going to work.
Right.
He is just an absolute load. And I think that he's a really good player. And he's someone that you look at his stats, like he's been essentially a double-figure scorer in almost all of their games. He did have his best game of the year. They played Rutgers and beat them at home. He had 22 and 14. So that's a pretty darn good game. But he's hovering kind of in that 10 to 14 points, can get you about 8 to 12 rebounds. And like I said, he's just very steady, consistent, and someone that Illinois recruited out of high school is a teammate of Andre Curbelo out there at Long Island Lutheran. And
I knew there was a connection, and I could not remember how.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was heavily recruited by Illinois, but ultimately chose Ohio State.
So how would you compare him to a guy like Dane Danger? In other words, Zed's got a season on Danger, in terms of experience in the Big Ten, which certainly helps. But I almost get the feeling that they're two very similar guys. You know, they're kind of built the same. Their height is the same. Isn't it funny that a guy's 6'8", we don't think he's that tall? Like, you're like, well, he's not that tall.
Right.
He's only 6'8". You're like, what? But, you know, they have some skill. I think Dane's probably got more skill than Zed, where, as you mentioned, Zed kind of relies more on his power. So I'll ask you two questions. Do you feel like there's a comparison there between those two? And do you feel like Dane is a guy that maybe should use his power more often? Or does he, in your mind?
I think that's a good point. I think there are times, especially when you look at maybe a Steven Crowell or someone that's a little bit more of a slender big man. I even wondered about it against Trace.
I agree.
Because Trace has been a guy that hasn't handled contact in the past all that well. Now, I think that now that he's in his fourth year in college, he has gotten stronger. And, man, with the way that Trace is playing right now, he just has all the confidence in the world. And he even kind of did those power back down moves to really carve out position, and he's playing really well. But on the note of Dane, yeah, I think sometimes he relies on his footwork and skill and shiftiness sometimes when he should go for the power game. But Zed, I think that's where they're very comparable because they have kind of the same body type.
Right.
They're both those not traditional size of a center where you look at Dane 6'9", Zed 6'8", but obviously can really bang in there with their strength. And Dane has the enormous wingspan. Not that Zed Key has short arms by any means,
right.
But I think that with Zed, if he does play tonight, I would imagine that he's limited in some fashion. And if you wonder about his knee, I think that I would look for Dane to maybe try to face him up, try to be able to use his mobility against Zed Key. That's kind of the one difference that I see is Dane is more nimble.
Okay.
Where Zed is kind of more the power game. But, I mean, Zed is obviously, this is his third season at Ohio State. He's been a contributor every season. He's more proven at the high major level. And he's more of a force on the glass, at least consistently, than Dane has been.
We just had on the U of I Atlanta Lake text line, someone at 651 had texted in that Bill Landis, is that someone that covers the Buckeyes, had mentioned that Ohio State says Zed Key is available for tonight's game at Illinois. So there you go. So according to a guy named Bill Landis, who I've never invited to like a Christmas dinner or anything, I'm going to trust him to tell me that Zed Key is available tonight. So if that's the case, that's the case. Can I go back to one other thing before we catch a break? You mentioned this is the second season in a row that Ohio State, maybe more than that Ohio State has a recruit come in as a freshman and automatically is the guy that you're looking at that's going to go probably first round in the draft. Isn't it amazing that when you look at what Illinois brought in, and Epps and Clark, and I understand what happened with Clark, but Rogers and Harris, and you've brought in these guys, and even back to Io and Kofi at the time, isn't it amazing? Like, there's still another level of recruits that you can go get, right? I mean, as great as Brad Underwood and this staff is recruiting, and believe me, this is not a shot at them because the recruiting is unbelievable at Illinois right now. But isn't that amazing that there's still like that next tier of player that is like one of the top 20 to 30 in the country, and those are the guys that are here for a year and move on. And it's just I don't know when the last time Illinois had someone like that. Maybe somebody obvious is not rolling through my mind right now, but that's just the amazing thing. You look at what Io's doing right now, how great Io was at Illinois, what he helped bring this program back to where we hope and expect it to be as Illinois fans. But he was there for 3 years, and this kid Sensabaugh and that kid last year that we dominated us here at the State Farm Center, Malachi Branham. I mean, they're here and gone. It's just amazing to me. Like, there's that next tier of recruiting, and I don't know how you get into that tier.
That's true. The one thing I would credit Chris Holtmann with, whether you're talking about the evaluation of these guys or just the ability to land them, both Branham and Sensabaugh weren't consensus 5-star type of guys. You look at Branham, he was 35th overall in the class, so kind of in that a little bit higher than maybe a typical Illinois, kind of in that top 50 range,
Gotcha.
So to speak. But he was kind of similarly ranked to Io coming out of high school, and Bryce Sensabaugh, 86th on 24/7 Sports.
Wow.
I think we got that wrong.
And
but I'm just putting that out there. I think we got that wrong. It's interesting, though, how, like, teams, when you're bringing in someone like that, you're probably not preparing for them to leave in, in a year. So Holtman's done a really good job of reloading. They've obviously recruited at a high level for a long time, even Thad Matta and everything. But
no doubt.
Holtman's definitely got it going during his tenure. But there is another level of kind of that no doubt one and done.
Mm-hmm.
But some of these guys haven't necessarily been that. They've just come into their own throughout their freshman seasons, and he's had a ridiculously good year. Branham had a really, really good year too, and maybe it's not a bad thing that those guys don't stick around for multiple years if you're an opponent in the Big Ten. Like, okay, yeah, he's probably going to kill us for a year, but then at least let him not be like EJ, who's going to stay for 4, and then, we get to see EJ again. But, yeah, that's a credit to Holtman.
Or Evan Turner, another guy from Illinois, from the state of Illinois.
It's true.
That went over to Columbus. That didn't help either, and he was one of those that stuck around for quite a while and then was drafted in the NBA. So
hey, a guy on a bright note, a guy that's kind of reminiscent of EJ in a little bit is like Amani Hansberry, who's in town today.
Is he really?
I know the Atlanta basketball account tweeted that out, and he's here to visit for tonight's game. He's obviously signed, and you don't have to worry about continuing to recruit him, but he wanted to come by Champaign, see a game. And
wait, does he like Ohio State or something?
No,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. There's going to be somebody out there with the paranoia like, he's coming to the Ohio State game. Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting how you went so long wondering about the 4 spot.
Yes.
And then kind of like just regretting the EJ result of the recruitment. I'm not saying Amani's going to come in and be EJ. EJ had a hell of a career.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of similarly ranked and similar styles, like, they're similar players.
I just can't imagine what it would be. Like the what ifs of if Bill Self would have stayed here. The what ifs of if E.J. Liddell would have come here and played alongside Kofi.
Man.
Who's beating them? What team is knocking off a team that has E.J. Liddell and Kofi Coburn and Ayo?
With Ayo and Trent.
Maybe it would have happened, but I just cannot imagine. And I know a lot of times you look at that and I guess what we're doing right there is we're describing teams that win national titles, like teams that have 2 of those absolute studs or 3. And I just cannot imagine preparing a team to face Kofi Coburn and E.J. Liddell. It was hard enough to prepare for one of those guys.
Right, and the way that EJ could play on the perimeter, too. Like, get the high-low game going.
Oh, my goodness.
Who's going to out-rebound Illinois with Kofi and EJ?
Goodness. And to think that EJ, that could have happened, man. That really could have happened.
Yep.
All right, I want to ask you more about what you're expecting out of Illinois tonight. We'll do that with Derek Piper as we roll along. Our good friend Austin Berkland is in town. I did not know this until a few minutes ago. So he will bring Austin on when we return, kind of get his thoughts on what he's up to now and maybe from afar what he thinks of this Fighting Illini squad. I will pick out a winner and of our tickets, and I'll let you know as soon as we take a break on that. And again, if you can just run by Philo and grab those before 4 or right around 4, that would be great. Little business time. As the needs of customers grow, Busey continues to expand its digital footprint, allowing you to bank when and how you want. Whether it's personal or business banking, opening an account or scheduling an appointment, you can do it all from the convenience of home, and that's because of eBank, Busey's online and mobile banking tool. With that, you can check balances, view transactions, transfer funds, pay bills, all of that. The mobile app allows you to deposit checks, provide travel plans, analyze spending habits. That is something I would not care to look at. And then find that Busey mobile app in the App Store or Google Play. They just make it easy. You can schedule an appointment, skip the line, and schedule appointments online for services related to how about your personal checking or saving account? How about a mortgage? How about wealth management? You can do it all from your mobile app. It's amazing how easy they make it. Busey, they are proud to offer convenient digital banking platforms that enhance their customers' user experience. Visit Busey.com to get started today. That's Busey, member FDIC. I remember.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
If you're in the market for a new car battery, you could go to one of those big box stores, except there's no guarantee you'll be served by an actual car expert.
Clean up in aisle 3.
You could pick a battery off the shelf, except it might be close to expiring. Or you could just come into Interstate. Don't make a big box store blunder. With competitive prices and a more personal, reliable approach, Interstate Batteries is the clear-cut choice if you want to guarantee yourself a new and trustworthy car battery. They're open and ready to serve you at 2504 North Mattis Avenue in Champaign.
Get ready for the 7th annual Champaign County Area Restaurant Week. This 9-day celebration features our diverse and award-winning culinary scene with Filipino, Indian, Cambodian, Thai, Mexican, Caribbean, Italian, Zambian, vegetarian, vegan, soul food, farm to table, and standard American fare. You'll be able to find a restaurant, share your experience, and dine in or take out. It's Restaurant Week, January 27th through February 4th. For details, go to visitchampaigncounty.org.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Don't miss the final days of our Everything BOGO sale. Through Sunday only, you can buy 1 square foot of any floor and get the second foot half off. That's any carpet, any floor. Our hottest selling luxury vinyl floors, durable and pet-friendly carpet, beautiful hardwood, and classic tile. It's all BOGO half off, including our Shaw Floors collection and incredible waterproof Cortec floors. Discounts on material only. See store for details. Then shop our amazing selection of furniture, rugs, and accessories. It's all buy one, get one half off. Plus, you can buy any carpet or any floor with special 2 years financing with 0 interest. You'll always find unmatched service from our family-owned business. If you're ready to start a project, we're here for you. Don't miss the Everything BOGO sale through Sunday only at Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. We're flooring people.
CU at Home has their one winter night the first Friday in February as the venue CU serves as host to sponsors and volunteers to raise funds for those without a home. The keynote speaker, George Dennehy, will talk about overcoming adversity with a powerful story of hope. Visit his site, thatarmlessguy.com. Stevie J Broadcasting is proud of the awareness created starting at 6 p.m. Friday, February 3rd. For details, visit cuathome.us.
How are you helping support the next generation of leaders and change makers? In 1 hour a week, you can offer the support and guidance a young person needs by becoming a one-to-one mentor in the Champaign-Urbana Public Schools. Join over 450 local adults who are mentoring children. Check out the website cu1to1.org for more information about how you can make mentoring a part of your life.
Now, the NIL jersey lineup for your Fighting Illini. Number 55, Sky Clark. Number 15, R.J. Melendez. Number 10, Luke Goody. Number 20, Ty Rogers. Number 0, Terrence Shannon Jr. And number 33, Coleman Hawkins. Get yours at State Farm Center on game day, online or in stores. Game Day Spirit, official fan store of the Fighting Illini.
Wouldn't it be nice to visit a car dealership where you didn't feel like you were at an auction? Or didn't feel like you were being taken to the cleaners?
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Welcome to Sarah Champagne. At Sarah, they offer a one-price promise. Every vehicle at a fair price, no negotiation, only the best price. Sarah Champagne, Honda, BMW, GMC, Buick, and Subaru. SERRA Champagne.com.
PDR Automotive in Urbana has been providing quality auto repair service for almost 50 years. Trusted by AAA Motor Club, PDR employs ASE certified technicians that use the latest in diagnostic equipment. They offer nationwide warranties and are even authorized to perform vehicle maintenance that won't void your factory warranty. Check them out 24/7 online at pdrauto.com. When you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Hey, Illini fans, it's Mike Greenberg. Catch Lon Tay and Derek Piper weekdays from 4 to 6 right here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
It is The Drive, ESPN Radio 93.5. The Drive with Tay and Piper. Latte, Derek Piper, joined by a buddy of ours that is back in town The boys are back in town, as they say. Austin Berkland.
Not the Cowboys, though.
No. Oh, I forgot. We've got to talk a bunch of Eagles right now. I totally forgot about
that. That's the secret reason why I'm here. I just wanted to get the Eagles some airtime.
You're like on a statewide, like today alone, you've been in Kankakee on the radio. You've been in like Joliet on the radio. And now, like, you're just moving, like you're going to be in Effingham tonight. You're just going on a statewide Eagles.
It's like a political campaign. Everyone was touting the 49ers so much that I had to do a statewide tour. Remember that Jalen Hurts was injured for 3 games at the end of the year.
Yes.
Don't forget that. The Eagles are back. They're going to the Super Bowl, and they're winning.
Here's my rub on Jalen Hurts, by the way.
Okay.
So I had the worst fantasy season ever, but I ended up catching fire in the playoffs. But the first round of the playoffs was against Jalen Hurts against the Bears. And somehow I won that despite Jalen Hurts having this outstanding game. And I kept saying to myself, why are they playing him? Like, he's going to get hurt in this game. Like, he was running 100 times. Now, I didn't care about Jalen Hurts getting hurt, right? I mean.
Right.
But the point is he was beating me in fantasy, and on top of the fact he really didn't need to be playing. So I was kind of unhappy about what your quarterback and what your team was doing.
Well, I mean, Minnesota was on the heels at that point, and you wanted that number 1 seed because there's only one bye at this point. That's the silly part of this new playoff system is only one team gets a bye.
That is weird.
So they had to win every single game that they won, or else they would have fallen off the number 2 seed. If they didn't beat the Giants in Week 18, they're looking at the San Francisco side.
Austin, I can thank the Eagles for kind of giving a blueprint for what I'm hoping to be a Bears path forward, because I'm sitting there watching Justin Fields. I'm like, he kind of looks like Jalen Hurts, which is crazy because obviously a guy in the draft that was overlooked by a lot of people and there were a lot of questions, but for him to have an MVP caliber season, probably, I don't know if he would have won it, but he would have probably been neck and neck with Mahomes had he played a full season. What have you made? How surprising has his success been to break out in this fashion?
A little surprising. I was never a Jalen Hurts believer. I was always a little hesitant because I was always on the Carson Wentz train. Everybody who listened to this radio station in the past knows that.
I do recall that.
Yes. So this has been a surprising to see him go to an MVP caliber level. I thought he could at least be a competent starter halfway through the season, but this has just been unbelievable to see. But you look at the blueprint, like you were saying, for the Bears, I think it's very similar. You have your quarterback in Justin Fields, very similar to Jalen Hurts. The Eagles had a number 4 pick that they traded back from. The Bears have an opportunity to do that, get some draft picks, and they have a lot of cap room to maybe get a better receiver than even a Chase Claypool, and they can get some big-time pieces in this draft coming up. So I think the Bears and the Eagles have the very similar blueprints, and it's just all about Ryan Poles getting that blueprint executed.
Would you rather see it's obviously not a guarantee that you guys will beat the Niners, but if you do get to the Super Bowl,
Derek.
Okay, all right. All right. If you get there, would you rather see Joey B and the Bengals or the Chiefs and Mahomes?
I mean, Mahomes right now, because he's on one leg, or at least 1.5 legs right now with that ankle that he's dealing with. And Joey Burrow is a scary cat to deal with right now. I don't mean that in a pun because of the Bengals.
Right, good call.
I mean,
they
have
solid.
Jamar Chase as well, one of the best wide receivers in the league. And that defense is just frisky. It is a... Gosh, I am using all the cap puns.
You totally are.
They're underrated. They don't get enough love for as good as they've been.
No.
The puns or the...
No, well, that, yeah,
oh, okay.
for sure. You're not giving him any of the hockey.
I'm not. You're right. He deserves that.
I didn't know there was a hotkey.
Oh, well, we do the... It's
the pun key.
On the screen, it's WGFA Scream. I don't know what that means. So there you go.
Yes. So, I mean, I'd rather face Mahomes and the Chiefs at this juncture right now, unless Patrick Mahomes is all Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship after the Eagles are already victorious in the NFC Championship.
He's dang sure of it.
I mean, why not? They've been the best team all season long.
Yeah.
It's really just when Jalen Hurts got injured, everyone just forgot, and they got enamored with this Brock Purdy story.
You don't believe in the Brock Purdy magic?
No, not at all. Like, they've had an easy path in the playoffs, and I feel like it's Kyle Shanahan's system. I think if you take Brock Purdy and put him on the Minnesota Vikings, I don't know if he's the Brock Purdy we all know and love.
That's fair.
I think it's very much a product of the system, and that defense is stellar. It's just not going to be Brock Purdy's day come Sunday.
That's fair. All right, what are you up to these days, Austin?
Oh, I just took a new job. I am a salesperson for Burn & Jones Construction out in St. Louis, selling artificial turf, tracks, tennis courts, basically any outdoor sports facility that a school or community or university needs. So my territory will be Southern Illinois, basically Effingham South and Indianapolis South in Indiana. So a bi-state area, and I'm very excited to
That's awesome.
Get going. I'm going through training right now. I was in Bismarck Henning today.
Okay.
They're developing a nice football facility after already having a great track and softball field out there. So yeah, that's what I'm up to. And
So if someone, even though it's not your territory, if someone around here wanted to put up a pickleball court or a tennis ball, what the hell, tennis court or something similar, or I know like Unity's already got a turf field football wise,
Yes.
and baseball. But if somebody wanted to do that, you still get a hold of you.
Burn & Jones Construction.
Got
I
it.
know there's no free advertising here. I'm sorry,
Nah,
CJ,
that's all right.
but we're the best in the Midwest. I'll say
Awesome.
that.
And then you went to school at Southern. You're from Paxton.
Yes.
So you got down back to SIU for a little bit, back to the roots.
Absolutely.
Worked some radio down there after you had left Jeremy and that show. How did that go, and how fun was it just to be back in Southern Illinois for a bit? Because I know you and I have a lot of love for that area.
Oh, I've ate way too many Quattros pizzas. I'll tell you that much. That's pretty
Well,
easy
you don't
to
look
do.
like it. You look great, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, being down in Southern Illinois, the territory is just absolutely
It's awesome.
gorgeous with the cliffs and just the rolling hills and trees. It's just a beautiful scene down there, and it's just the people are unreal down there.
Mhm.
I mean,
They sure are.
all over Central Illinois and Southern Illinois, it's some of the best people in the entire world over here. So I'm glad to be down there, and being in the radio scene in Southern Illinois was great. River Radio was awesome with Big Dog Steve Fallett being my former boss. He's so well known around the communities of Southern Illinois, and just hearing him say we have a winner after every Saluki basketball game.
Let's
has been
go.
great. Yeah.
Let's go. Have you been paying attention to the Illini?
Yes, I have.
The roller coaster season of Illinois basketball.
I mean, I'm going to use a 2016 Cubs reference. You remember when Joe Madden used to say, when Dexter Fowler goes, we go? I feel like that's Coleman Hawkins with this year's group. If Coleman Hawkins has a great game, Illinois is most likely going to win that. If Coleman Hawkins has a so-so game, or one of those Coleman Hawkins games where you're like scratching your head every few possessions, then Illinois is probably not going to be competitive in that game. I mean, it's unfair to have all of those expectations on one singular player, but when you're out Sky Clark and that situation, I think that Coleman is the straw that stirs the drink for this team.
I would agree. I think you would agree with that probably.
Definitely. I've been thinking about one question this entire time. I've been stuck on it. Wilson Contreras.
Oh!
In a Cardinals uniform.
Woo!
Mr. Berkland. Start recording. We're already recording anyway.
Yeah, we are.
Get it clipped
recording.
up for YouTube or whatever. Go.
I mean, you're getting a great offensive player. I mean, a offensive player better than Yadi Molina, that non-Hall of Fame catcher. I will have to say that one more time.
Oh, man. Get out of here. Walk out the door.
But, I mean, Wilson Contreras, you're getting a great player. I was upset to see him go. The Cubs obviously have a much different direction on where they want to take the catcher position, but they have a lot of offense to fill. I know they've gotten competency in certain positions like Eric Hosmer and Trey Mancini, those kind of guys, Cody Bellinger in center field. So hopefully they're going to make up for the lost production in those categories. But that catcher position, that Wilson Contreras, that spirit of that whole clubhouse, when you lose him, that's where you start to question the vision if you're a player inside that locker room. So that's the one thing that concerns me about letting just that kind of guy go. But you're going into a season where the only remaining World Series player is none other than Kyle Hendricks, who is a shell of himself and is often injured at this point. So it is frustrating to see at times, but trying to be positive right now. I know that spring training rings eternal hope.
Right.
Just gotta keep that hope.
That's not what I was hoping for. I wanted to rant.
I'm normally more fire and brimstone.
Despair and anger.
What kind of intangibles does he bring?
Intangibles, he's going to rocket the ball to first base. He is going to be a guy that's going to be very pickoff happy. He's going to get a lot of guys at second base, kind of like Yachty did back in the day.
Not kind of.
Hall of Famer.
No, not a Hall of Famer, though. If you do that one skill, that's great, but be a complete player. But I look at what Wilson Contreras brings. He's going to be a guy that brings that spirit, that tenacity that you're going to need in that Cardinals clubhouse. And he's going to fit really well in with the leaders that you already have with Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado. And I think those guys can form a very, very strong leadership core for this Cardinals. Not that they need it, because the Cardinals have been an organization that's done really great in that aspect throughout the years. So I think it's just going to be a great great season for Wilson Contreras.
U of I Line and Link text line. Patrick says, love hearing Austin back on the radio. Go Cubs. And then Jake says, it was great to hear Austin on here again. Then he took a shot at Yachty, and now he's dead to me.
I'm sorry, Jake.
You're just not even
I lasted 5 minutes, so that's great.
So you did really well for 5. And then the biggest news of this year is, I believe, personal news for you.
Yeah, wedding bells.
That's
happening
right.
in April.
That's right.
I am very excited. Getting married April 1st.
Man, that would have been really awkward if I didn't know something had happened or whatever, and it's like, well, Lon.
That's why I'm back in Central Illinois.
I'm back on the market again, Lon.
Bachelor starring Austin
Woo,
Berglund.
boy, did I go down that cliff. I was like, ooh, I hope that wedding's still on. I've got the invite.
It is on. Audrey and I are doing really well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, getting married April 1st. I know it's April Fool's Day, but Peach and Apple Blossoms are going to be there for the Renneman Orchard supply. So
sweet.
Should be great pictures after the wedding ceremony. So
you had sent me something on a text, and you knew that I wouldn't understand it. And so you sent another text and said, Lon, just give me your address because I need it for a wedding invitation.
Yeah, so
before I sent you a thing saying, Austin, what is this thing?
So I sent him the Zola link to enter in all of your information, like address, so we can send out save the dates and invitations and that sort of thing. And so I sent him the link, and then I'm like, wait, who am I sending this to? Let me just get your address, and then I'll auto-populate it. Okay, so no need for you to try that.
At least you understand my weaknesses, right? And you're
absolutely.
Like,
that's what any good producer does.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. I was like, what is this thing that Austin sent me? And then you're like, Lon, seriously, just send me your address, and all is good. By the way, Cliff in Urbana says, I'm going to make sure Yachty mentions Austin's Skip Bayless-like takes during his Hall of Fame speech. We will all enjoy that. I think you will. If that happens, it'll be an if. When it happens, I feel like we have to have a taped version. We have to have a tape of you having to watch every second of the Yachty Hall of Fame speech and somehow drum up a tear for acting, just for the visualization to make it feel like you're like, I'm really happy for you.
I'm going to be like every losing presidential candidate and give like a concession speech and say, hey, we put up a good fight, offensive catcher people with Jason Kendall will be right by my side being like, if this guy's not in, then Yachty shouldn't be in.
That is a good point. Touche to that. It's a good point. Austin, it's great to hear you, buddy.
Great seeing you guys.
Great to see you. And just happened Mom's here, so you got to see Jan Tay. So
absolutely. It's great seeing you, Jan.
Even better, right? A little double bonus. All right, Austin, thanks, buddy. It's always great to see our friend Austin Berglund. I know all of you out there remember listening to Austin and miss him for sure. So when we come back, all right, Pipes, you've just got a few more minutes with us this hour, and then you're going to take off for the Illinois game. So I want to get your thoughts on what you think Illinois will present tonight versus Ohio State, and your thoughts on a score, or at least who wins this game. We'll do it all next. it is the draw.
The Unity Music Boosters present Alla Acapella on Friday, February 10th with $15 tickets available while supplies last.
The money raised helps Unit 7 music programs.
The Alla Acapella show is Friday, February 10th at 7 p.m., located at Unity High School, 1127 County Road 800 North in Tolono.
The raffle baskets to win have great experiences in restaurants plus spiritware for your favorite teams. Learn more as you visit unitymusicboosters.org to get your tickets today.
Hey, could you tell me what aisle your car batteries are in?
Sure, I'll go grab one for you. Here's your battery. It might be expired, but oh well. Also, the brand isn't that great, but it should work for at least a year or two, maybe. Anyways, I went ahead and charged you for it, and here's the battery. Okay, have a great day.
What just happened?
Sometimes good things are hard to find, but they're worth the wait. Make the trip out to Interstate All Battery Center at 2504 North Madison Avenue and get all of your battery needs taken care of by the trusted professionals. Give them a call today at 355-4855.
Are you ready to be cool and take the plunge this winter? The athletes of Special Olympics Illinois are counting on you. So join us to Plunge Illinois at Mahomet Polar Plunge Saturday, March 11th at the Lake of the Woods. You can register as an individual or team today at plungeillinois.com. Got a school or college group that wants to get in on the chilly action? That's great. Region I hosts the Cool School Challenge and College Cup, a friendly competition to raise the most funds at the Polar Plunge and a chance to win money back for your school or collegiate group. Create a team today and get started. Your efforts will support local Special Olympics Illinois athletes, giving them access to life-changing programming all year long, like competitive sports and training, health education, as well as personal and leadership development. The 2023 Law Enforcement Torch Run Polar Plunge supporting Special Olympics Illinois will be held at Lake of the Woods in Mahomet on Saturday, March 11th. You can get all the info you need to Plunge Illinois at plungeillinois.com. Again, that's plungeillinois.com.
PDR Automotive in Urbana is a locally owned repair shop, and they've now serviced over 250,000 vehicles in their near 50-year history. Now, that's more than 4 times the size of a sold-out Memorial Stadium. It's more than all Division I athletes in the country combined. That's more than the entire population of Champaign County. That's more than, well, you get the idea. When you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Illini fans, your place to pregame is Pia's, with great drink specials and food before Illinois hits the basketball court at the State Farm Center. Take the free Illini shuttle, leaving 30 minutes before each home game. Get there early to ensure your seat because Pia's free Illini shuttle only makes one run. Stay in good spirits with your plastic cup on the bus on the way to the game. It's Pia's, 1609 West Springfield Avenue in Champaign. Go Illini!
Hey, Illini fans, it's Georgia B and Stevie J Broadcasting, and you are listening to the amazing ESPN Radio 93.5.
Oh, yeah. It's always fun having guys come back and pop in. Austin Berkman looks great, man.
He does.
Looks wonderful. He's going to get married in April. And,
that's confirmed.
Yeah. And then the Hall of Fame, that is confirmed. That was a really nerve-wracking moment for me. I was like, oh, man, I hope that's still on. But you know what? I hope it's on, number one, for them because they're a wonderful couple. But I kind of want to get down to Southern Illinois and enjoy that wedding. So that's going to be fun. Anytime you give me a reason to get down there, I'm good to go.
Hey, I know you guys were second-guessing this whole thing, but I was kind of really looking forward to coming down there. So
all right, well, Lon,
need you to go ahead.
Yeah, Lon says we got to go ahead and get married.
Fix it later.
Right. All right, so Illinois, Ohio State tonight. What are you expecting? And I don't know how you would even know what to expect.
It's hard to know
out of this Illinois squad.
It's hard to know for Illinois right now. It is interesting where you kind of, I know the narrative's out there, you kind of flip a coin on which Illinois team is going to show up here tonight, and you hope that they build some more consistency. I'm not sure we're ever going to see them be a team that rattles off 5, 6, 7 wins in a row and is going to have the consistency to truly challenge for a Big Ten title. But this is a big game at home, and we've talked about the importance not only for trying to work your way up in the Big Ten standings, but just your overall resume of holding down the fort at home. Like the previous 3 seasons, Illinois lost no fewer than 2 games as far as in Big Ten play at home. They've been 8-2 the last 3 years in Big Ten play at home. They're already 2-2 this year, 6 more to go. So being able to win this game, and it's a toss-up. Like, Ohio State's really talented.
Yes.
They're a team that I was high on going into the year. Sensabaugh has been great. The fact that Key is going to play, and the reporters right now are saying that he's going to be full go. We'll see how that knee ultimately looks, but if he is fully operational, that's more of an even matchup down low for Dane Danger, which would take away what I thought could have been a potential advantage. We'll have to monitor that, especially early in the game, see how he's moving. But Sean McNeil, transfer out of West Virginia, can really shoot it. One of the high-level shooters in this league, shooting 50% from three and has super deep range, can really get going. You think about what Andrew Funk did for Penn State.
That's right.
That's kind of what McNeil is capable of as well. Isaac Likely, a transfer from Oklahoma State, has been someone they've mostly relied upon for defense and kind of effort plays and everything. He's kind of erratic offensively, but coming off his best game of the year against Iowa, had 18 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. So they have some older guys in the transfers I've mentioned with Key, with Sewing. Sewing came off the bench against Iowa. He's kind of been struggling here of late, but Holtman's trying to really get him back into a role, and we've seen the best version of Justice Sewing. You think back to, I know it's been a while now, but that Big Ten tournament game in the championship when that was 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
Sewing had 22 points in that game.
He's tough.
He's played well against Illinois. He's physical, 6'6", good athlete. He hits the glass well, and they just have a lot of, especially offensive firepower. Now, they're not the best defensive squad. They'll play fast. They'll let the opponent get going offensively as well. But I think Illinois really has to, again, be physical. Like the fact of Geronimo coming into your house, and I know that Brad talked about this team being fatigued and everything, and the mental wear and tear, the physical, Matthew Meyer being sick. There's no excuses now.
No.
And you can have one of those. I know for it to come against Indiana and for Indiana to really own you on your home floor and Trace to have that game, it was really hard to stomach regardless of any excuse, whether it was valid or not. You've had the entire weekend off. Ohio State played over the weekend. You should be the fresher team. You should understand Ohio State's still going to kind of, similar to Indiana, come in with desperation. Like one game shouldn't satisfy that team. Beating Iowa at home shouldn't satisfy Ohio State, just as, you know, Indiana having beaten Wisconsin prior to a losing streak didn't all of a sudden have them come in and be complacent. So I think Ohio State's going to be hungry. Illinois is going to have to recognize that. They're going to have that fire, that toughness, and it'll be a really hard-fought game. Again, especially Key going in this game is making it more of an even battle. I was seeing the point spread tick up. It opened at like 1 and moved up to 4. And I'm like, oh, maybe Vegas thinks Key's going to be out.
Mm-hmm.
But he's
Sounds
going
like
tonight, and it's going to be a tough one.
Zed
Key.
Illinois has put themselves now in a position where they need some of these wins, right? I mean, I don't mean just the obvious, like you got to win some games here and not lose, so you're going to make the tournament. But I'm talking about a solid victory over an Ohio State team that is thought of well. Illinois is kind of in that spot. But, of course, like you said, Ohio State's kind of in a similar spot. They're both needing this win.
I mean, Ohio State, they're similarly ranked on the net rankings. You think about, I think Ohio State's kind of in that 28-29 range. Illinois, I believe, maybe somewhere 25 to 30. That they're both kind of in that similar mix. So projected like 6 or 7 seed right now. Ohio State, with the way that they started the year really well, then took the 5 straight losses. They're still 19th on KenPom, so a team that the metrics still really like. But it's a chance to create some separation. The Big Ten is going to be a logjam there in the middle.
Yeah, you can go from like 8th to 3rd.
That's the thing.
That's amazing.
So I think that's really important because if you're going to be a top 3 or 4 finisher in the Big Ten, you're going to have a pretty decent seed.
Right.
If you find yourself there 6, 7, even 8, then you're starting to worry about what ultimately your landing spot's going to be in the tournament. And while we can talk about this team's ceiling all we want, if they don't get a good draw, then you're up against it already. And then the other question is, can this team be consistent enough to win 2, 3, 4 games in a row in the NCAA tournament? So it's a chance to get a nice win. It would be, again, a quad 1 win. And as you start to look at it, like going on the road at Wisconsin is a tough one. Going on the road next weekend to Iowa, very tough. So to be able to win not only a game at home, because you play Nebraska at home, kind of stuck there in the middle between the road trips to Wisconsin and Iowa. Beating Nebraska at home doesn't do anything for you. You get to hold serve at home and win a game, but as far as your resume or anything to really be gained out of it, there's nothing. Beating Ohio State, a good team, a team that's a quad one game on your resume, that matters. So to be able to win this game, to get the bad taste out of your mouth after Indiana, to make sure nothing starts to snowball again, because you lose this game and then you go to Wisconsin, you're like, are we staring a potential 3-game losing streak in the face?
Yikes.
You want to eradicate any thoughts of that.
Next hour, I'm going to have some sound from RJ Melendez and also a sound bite from Brad Underwood talking about RJ. He's a guy that we really looked at as someone that we thought could be kind of take that next step. And he really hasn't, right? Let's be honest.
Right.
Has he taken a step at all?
Not that we've seen in terms of production.
Right.
Like, is he a better player than he was at the end of last year? I think that
I don't mean that.
You would hope.
Not dogging on RJ. I like him, and this team could use him, but there's so many of these guys, like Austin mentioned Coleman Hawkins and how, boy, as he goes, Illinois goes. But, a guy like RJ Melendez, if all of a sudden he figured out how to get 12 to 14 a game consistently, get you 4 or 5 rebounds a game consistently, I mean, how big of a difference would that be for this team in terms of consistency that we talk about?
Right, and depth, the fact that now he's coming off the bench, and it doesn't really matter what his ultimate role is, but, I mean, he's got to be thinking in the back of his mind. You want RJ to start to build confidence and not worry about too many things. I know Brad mentioned yesterday, simplifying the game is a big deal for him. Just going back to what got him rolling late last season, he was an effort guy. He was an energy guy. He was someone that was right place, right time, always hitting the glass, putbacks, cutting to the basket. I think it's kind of similar to Coleman sometimes, where guys that are now expected to be more of marquee players or bigger roles or whatever you want to call it, maybe forget what worked for them at the end of last season when they were just starving for minutes, starving to do anything to make sure that they didn't get subbed out. And now they get a little bit more comfortable, and maybe RJ kind of hovers on the three-point line and just looks to take threes versus kind of being that effort, energy guy.
Amen.
I think defensively, I know Brad praised him yesterday. I thought he was better against Indiana defensively. He's got to be more solid there because he has the measurables. Like, he's 6'7", he can really move. He's got long arm. He's got a lot of what you want.
Yes.
You just haven't seen some of the diversification of his, that's a big word. I can't believe I used that, of his offensive game. Like, he hasn't been someone that all of a sudden, oh, look what he's doing off the dribble. Oh, look at him create a shot. And then just kind of overall, he hasn't taken that step forward with his defensive play and kind of just sustained effort. But he's capable. That's just something that you hope clicks in the second half of the season.
Got about a minute. Is Illinois winning this game against the Ohio State Buckeyes tonight?
I am picking them to win.
Okay.
I think they bounce back. I think it's a tough one. I think we're finally going to see a down-to-the-wire game.
Yeah,
we haven't seen one for Illinois since Texas in early December.
That's
so
crazy.
Kind of having them be
that's crazy
in a one-possession game, maybe a tie game with 2-3 minutes to go. I'm going to be fascinated to see how they handle that. But I think at home, you get the sold-out crowd. You get Ohio State. They're 1-4 on the road this season. I just think that, again, I think Dane is up for a bigger test, not that he's not capable against Zed Key. I really look for which team's going to have more bench production. I'm hoping that we'll see Ty Rodgers showed up in a big game. We've seen it against some of these lower-level teams in the Big Ten. Can he do it against an Ohio State? Epps obviously needs to bounce back after going 1-for-8 against Indiana. But I think Illinois at home and in a tough one. I have 70 – I'm trying to remember what I wrote. What was it? 76-71, I believe.
I like it. I'll take
higher
that.
scoring game.
Okay.
Illinois by 5.
Let's go. Let's roll. That's what I'm wanting to hear. Illinois needs it. They need this game.
They do.
Tonight. All right, Derek Piper, you go enjoy that game. I just got a text from our buddy Lindy Lush, and he's in town here in Philo.
Come on by.
I said pop in. You can join me next hour.
We haven't had a live show in a while. So
right.
Like the live guest audience is...
Be awesome.
It's nice.
And Tim from Champaign, by the way, was the winner of our tickets. So he is on his way. Maybe we'll get him on. I don't know who, I don't know that I know Tim or have met Tim. I don't know if it's Tim Smith. I don't know. I think I would have known if it was Tim Smith. So, all right. Well, you enjoy the game. I'm going to run out of music that I've got to play because I got to get you to a certain spot. It's a radio term that nobody would understand. All right, buddy. Enjoy the game. Get us a win tonight.
I hope to do so. I'll do my part.
Please do your part.
I don't think I'll take any shots. But
that'll
help him win.
It is The Drive.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Days into his third year in office, President Biden hosting Democratic congressional leaders at the White House.
We got a lot done in the last couple of years, and we got a lot more to do, a lot more to finish what we've already done.
He has said he's willing to work with Republicans, and the White House says he does plan to meet with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who's pushing for spending cuts as part of a possible debt limit deal.
I'm very reasonable. I'm very sensible. All I'm asking for is a responsible debt limit increase.
McCarthy telling Fox Business that means finding common ground on a path to balancing the budget. More classified documents turning up, this time at the home of former Vice President Mike Pence.
The Pence attorney confirms to Fox News about a dozen classified documents were found inside Pence's Indiana home last week, and both the Justice Department and FBI are reviewing that material. Part of the review includes finding out how and why those documents made it to Indiana.
Fox's David Spunt, attorneys say Pence requested a review of records after documents were found at President Biden's home and a former office. The White House referring more questions to the Justice Department and White House lawyers amid special counsel probes of Biden and Trump documents. The Oscar race begins, and the sci-fi indie hit Everything Everywhere All at Once is in the lead with 11 nominations, including one for its star, Michelle Yeoh.
It's also up for Best Picture along with The Banshees of Inisherin, The Fabelmans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, Elvis, All Quiet on the Western Front, Women Talking, Triangle of Sadness, and box office blockbuster, Avatar, The Way of Water.
Fox's Lillian Wu, The Banshees of Inisherin has 9 nominations in all. Elvis has 8. Angela Bassett gets the first ever acting nod for a Marvel movie for her supporting role in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. America is listening to Fox News.
My friend had his home stolen. The crime is home title theft. It's real. It's horrendous, but it's real, and it's everywhere. Now, luckily, this was just a demo, but I saw how criminals all around the world target American homeowners, and that's why I protect my home with Home Title Lock, and you need to as well. And a thief can simply forge your signature on a legal document claiming you sold your home to them. Homeowners insurance and common identity theft programs do not protect you, but Home Title Lock does. So protect yourself. Just go to their website. It's HometitleLock.com/Sean, SEAN. Verify your home's title is still safely in your name. Then just register your address for a free, no obligation home title report for your files. That is a $100 value, absolutely free. That's HometitleLock.com/Sean, HometitleLock.com/Sean, SEAN.
A possible about-face at the Pentagon, reportedly set to allow Abrams tanks to be sent to Ukraine.
The Pentagon is so far not saying those tanks will be headed to Kyiv anytime soon. Defense Department spokesman Brigadier General Pat Ryder said there's no movement, only discussion.
To focus on what their immediate battlefield needs are now in the near term, but we also have discussions about what they may need in the medium to long term.
The Pentagon has had concerns about logistics and difficulty of training to maintain and operate the high-tech M1 tanks.
Fox's Gernal Scott, Poland is asking Germany for permission to transfer German-made Leopard 2 tanks, which would not require as much training. Ticketmaster is blaming ticket scalpers using bots for last year's website meltdown during a pre-sale for Taylor Swift's upcoming tour. But Joe Berchtold, the president of parent company Live Nation, still says they're sorry.
We apologize to the fans. We apologize to Ms. Swift.
We need to do better, and we will do better.
This at a Senate hearing as lawmakers from both sides of the aisle raise competition concerns along with others in the industry. The SeatGeek CEO says Congress should break up the 2010 merger of Live Nation and Ticketmaster. Google is being sued by the federal government again, this second antitrust lawsuit joined by 8 states over the company's dominance in digital advertising.
The suit targeting Google's ad tech stack, tools the Justice Department says are halting competition in the space of digital advertising for all entities, including the U.S. government. The DOJ is seeking damages and the divestiture of certain Google ad tech. A Google spokesperson critical of what they see is a flawed argument by the department over their practices.
Fox's Matt Napolitano, a 3-day win streak for the Dow, up 104 today, but the S&P and the NASDAQ finishing lower. Lisa Brady, this is Fox News.
Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
Check. I literally just create madness.
Well, they're up.
I'm going to go off here.
They don't have a great quarterback.
I got to take a break. I'm getting in trouble.
To win the Big Ten, you first got to win the West.
Bad Bunny.
Have you heard his name in a while?
No.
Has it bothered you?
No. Defensively, they got to come in with some confidence.
Is that even analytics?
I'm in a parking garage, kind of lost.
Terrence Shannon, Matthew Meyer, R.J. Melendez, Coleman Hawkins.
These trophy presentations aren't over. I didn't come here to go 5-7.
I'm so proud of Illinois football right now.
I'm so tired of Joel Embiid.
We're not taking Patrick Corbin.
I want to bet the Bears.
Oh.
You are Reba McEntire's niece.
Roshan Russell.
Coach Bielema.
You no longer salute to yourself.
What?
We got all kinds of things for you here.
There's a lot of glass.
Oh.
Guys, we have breaking news.
Uh-oh.
It's The Drive.
Smack Dogs.
Thunderstruck. Yeah, Thunderstruck.
Oh, yeah, it is The Drive. Good evening. The Drive with Tay and Piper. Derek has left me. He's left me alone here at the studio. So you got me for the next hour. We will chat a lot of Illinois and Ohio State. I'll take your texts at 217-359-2255. My buddy Lindy Lushin's going to come by. We'll visit with him a little bit. I know we've always wanted to chat on the air about some baseball and such. So maybe we'll talk a little baseball and get more on this Illinois basketball game tonight. It's a big one for the Fighting Illini. You'll hear from Brad Underwood on R.J. Melendez. R.J. is a guy that, as Derek and I just mentioned, is someone that, man, would it be really nice to be able to get a productive stretch out of R.J. Melendez. Not just one game, but just a productive stretch out of him. He has the ability to do that. So hopefully that is one thing that will occur. You'll also hear from R.J. Melendez, who was able to meet with the media this week. So we'll hear from him. Chris Holtmann, my guy, I guess. I said that one time that I thought he was maybe one of the best coaches in the country. Chris Holtmann, he was able to talk a little bit about Illinois as well. So you'll hear his thoughts as we roll along this week. I understand now the Illini women's team, they're in action again this Thursday at 7 p.m. They'll be at home against Purdue. Illinois, of course, 16-4 on the season with Shauna Green and crew. It is amazing what they have accomplished and what they have done. 6-3 in the conference, 9-1 at home. Of course, the one loss being Indiana that occurred, but certainly Shauna Green's squad looking to get back in action on Thursday. It's been a while. It's been, I know they had the win against Northwestern in between, but I'm ready to get some more of their games rolling. But for Illinois, of course, 13-6 overall and 4-4 in the conference when it comes to the Big Ten. And, of course, a big stretch coming up with regards to road games. If you're talking about at Wisconsin, then you've got Nebraska at home, then you're at Iowa, and then you've got Minnesota and Rutgers at home. So it's a stretch here where this is a big game, I think, for the Fighting Illini. A chance to stay above 500 in the Big Ten, a chance to, get that victory that would give you 14 wins on the season, and, of course, would be a nice win over an Ohio State squad that comes in similar to Illinois, if you will. So it will be a nice victory tonight if Illinois can get that done, and then see what happens Saturday at Wisconsin. Of course, a Badgers team that you took care of earlier this season, 79-69 here in Champaign, of course, without Tyler Wall, still a little banged up as well. So, get this one tonight, take your chance at Wisconsin, and then you've got a Nebraska team coming to town, which you should be able to do some damage with. So I think a big game, and again, it would be nice to get that kind of a connection or that kind of a game out of R.J. Melendez tonight. Maybe that will occur. All right, Lindy Lushin has stepped to the plate. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man? How are you tonight?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Before I start anything, I've been through a situation like you have in the last couple of weeks, and so I just want to send to your mother, and to you. It's hard. I love you guys, and I'm sorry, and I just want to send out my. There's no words. I mean,
there isn't.
I just want to send my sympathy to you guys.
Thank you. My mom doesn't realize that you lost your brother as well.
It's an interesting thing. No parent should ever bury their child.
There's no doubt. And that was the hardest part through all of it, obviously.
And being there for your mom, I know what that takes, and your parent, it is. I'm sorry.
Well, Lindy, I know, I can feel it, the pain in your voice, and I know when you reached out to me after this, I think my text back to you is, man, you know what I'm going through.
Yeah, it's I love you guys, and I did some work for your mother.
No, that's right. That's right.
And so I've known her actually before I knew you. and I know, I understand the depth at which you guys have felt in the last couple of weeks and last week. And I just want you to know that you've been in my prayers. And I love you guys. And ILL, INI.
There you go.
Doesn't matter when it comes to what you've dealt with in the last week. And if you guys need anything, I'm always here for you.
You know that I know, in other words, that you would be there, and I appreciate it. So I assume you're going to the game tonight.
I am going to be at the game tonight, and let's break down the game.
Let's do a little bit because, you were hearing me talk about it, that, you go through a season, there's always plenty of, oh, this is a big game. Oh, this is a big game. Oh, wait a minute. This is the big game. I mean, you can just go, depending on how the season goes, there's just a series of big games that occur. But, Lindy, more than anything, you're at home. And from being an Illini fan your whole life, you and I are almost identical in terms of our age, our fandom, just everything about it. We both grew up around this area. There's so many similarities. And one thing that we know from years past is you can't lose games at home. And this is certainly something that, of course, the way Illinois looked against Indiana at home was very strange. Penn State came in and kicked you around at home, which is very strange. We got to get that idea of this is home for us, and you're not coming in here and beating us. And I think tonight would be a good start if Illinois could get that done.
I agree 100%. It's the funny thing about this season is if you watch not just the Big Ten, you watch every other conference.
Sure.
And there are literally probably 25 teams where usually there's 4 to 6 teams that you can circle and say, these are the teams that you have to worry about that you play in March. And this year, there is probably 14 to 20 teams that you can circle and say they have a chance to go on a 6-game run.
There's no doubt.
In March, early April.
Is Illinois one of those teams?
They have the talent to be one of those teams, and they have Goody coming back. Mm-hmm. That's a shooter that will lock in on you on defense on the outside. You have a few players that have underperformed at the U of I level for what we expected. And you have some players that show the ability every game to be really solid. Our freshman class is without Sky. That is another circumstance, is what it is. I hope he ends up back on the team in the future. But if you look at what we have and what we're building, I know this. 6 years ago today, I would be sitting here telling you, please give me today.
Amen, right?
Because it's the same thing in football.
Yeah.
3 years ago today, you've been begging for what we had.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
And so I love that our frustration when it comes to the sport of basketball and UFI related is that we're not quite playing as well as we would like them to. Instead of, can we make the NIT?
Right, exactly. That's exactly right.
And so with that, I
Good
mean,
perspective.
these kids, they're kids.
Yeah.
In the long run, when you look back at this, these are kids, and they are working their tail off for the team that we love.
Do we look at them different now with NIL and such? Like, I know what you mean, and I said this. I had this internal dispute with myself one day because I thought, one thing I've never done. Now, will I rip on Lovie Smith? Will I rip on Brad Underwood if I need to? Will I rip on Brett Bielema if he does something? And I feel like, well, I don't know that I like that idea. I know I remember a game earlier this year. It was either the Purdue game or the Michigan State game where Brett Bielema elected to take the ball, I think, or didn't defer it. And I'm like, why would you ever do that, right? I mean, so there are certain things that we even though we didn't play, being me, didn't play at that kind of a level, I feel like there are certain things that I have earned the right after all these years of watching sports and talking about it to maybe rip a coach. But one thing I never did was take it personal on a college player because in my mind, like you said, they're out there busting their butt. And we all know this. Look, I was in college and was friends with athletes, and I was shocked at how much time they had to spend in classrooms, in study halls, in practices, waking up early in the morning, flying, or let's say heading to Drake for a Thursday night game and coming back and having a 9 a.m. test on Friday. I totally get the commitment that these guys make and gals.
Do you remember the outside of that part of the game in college?
Meaning?
What'd you do in the evenings?
Well, right, exactly.
What are they?
Yeah, I'm at the bar.
They're still the same age as you and I.
Exactly.
They still want to do the same things that we did.
I say I was at a bar. It's not like I spent all my time at a bar, but I was at a movie or I was over at a buddy's place, apartment playing, PlayStation back in the day. So, yeah, I mean, I was being a kid. I was learning how to become a man. I was paying bills. I was learning how to cook. And building friendships for life, and they're doing the same thing, but yet they're like showcased on a sometimes national level, like here at Illinois. So I ask you, and it's a legit question, and I said I had this internal discussion with myself, like because a guy like Matthew Meyer might be making a hell of a lot of money right now for playing here, does that allow me the ability, even though he's still a young man who's in college? Does that give me the ability to shred him a little bit more than what I would have done in the past?
Honest answer?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. That's fair.
No. It's still a 19 to 22-year-old kid. Like, they're making money. Are you mad?
No.
Would you make it?
Sure. I'd love to make that cash.
That's what I mean. Like, I mean, they're putting on a performance for us every 2 to 4 nights.
That's a great point.
And we've sat and talked in the past about should they be rewarded for that?
Exactly.
Is their scholarship, is the benefits of being a college athlete enough for them? It doesn't matter.
Right.
The answer doesn't matter because the answer now is yes, it matters.
Yes.
They get paid. So if you're going to hold that against them, then, I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
But, I mean, it's the same kid putting in the same work at the same age.
Yep. That's exactly right.
And here's the one thing that I know from the experience I have. I've never coached at a D1 level. I have coached at a college level and under.
Mm-hmm.
From 6-year-olds up to, I think I even had a guy that at one point was 3 years older than me that I was coaching. Or no, more than that, about 15 years older than me.
Oh, my goodness.
Bob Harold. But anyway, if you look at these, if you look at it in understanding that these kids are out there wearing the orange and blue, and they are doing everything in their power to make you and I and every other fan happy. They do not walk out and anticipate losing. They do not walk out playing Indiana and anticipate being flat. They don't walk out playing Penn State and anticipate being flat. That's not why I came to the University of Illinois.
Absolutely.
I can assure you, when they walk out and they see that place full and everybody's going nuts, they feel that energy.
Sure.
Sometimes things happen.
How much could Luke Goody help this team?
I mean, he's a shooter, and what are we missing?
That's exactly right.
We're missing.
Don't you feel like he has an intangible?
He's
like not just shooting.
I mean,
right?
coming off, he's a freshman. Remember, he's coming off his freshman year, so he has not played at all his sophomore year. So please keep that in mind before you put too much pressure on what Luke Goody's going to bring to the table when he comes back. But the fact is the kid has the ability to lead. He has the ability to shoot, and he has the ability to defend.
Amen.
And those are three things that this team is in dire need of.
Yep. And I think he really hates to lose.
Don't we all?
I would think, like I said yesterday, my FanDuel overall record, after 2 years is like 9-180. I'm like, I would have been fired years ago.
There's a reason Vegas is open.
Wow, look at all these nice buildings. How are they paying for all these? No, I'm with you on that, and I think there will be a little bit of a learning curve there for Luke Goody getting back into what we need. I mean, who knows how he'll be able to go mentally. When you're injured, you've been injured before, I'm sure, and just mentally in your mind, like, how is this thing going to play? I mean, in such a small factor, I can remember when I played like fast pitch softball, being old, and I would hurt my calf on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday night, right? And so then all of a sudden Saturday you got 3 games in some tournament in T-Town, and it's like, how long until this calf just absolutely blows out and I'm done, right? And mentally it's hard not to think of that.
It's, as a guy who's sitting here with a torn rotator cuff for the last 4 years and still coaching and throwing BP, I get exactly what you're saying.
Oh, boy, that just sounds.
But here's the other thing I would
painful.
say. Here's the other thing I'd say to Illini Nation. You have 2 kids that have transferred in since the end of November, and everybody's asking when you're going to see them.
Oh yeah,
it's D1 high level basketball.
I think there's a reason you haven't seen them yet.
You have a kid that has played D1 high level basketball and is coming off a foot break that we're already being told is going to take 2 to 3 weeks to get him back even to close to game shape.
That's correct.
He's only playing 1-on-1, 2 versus 2 right now.
Yep.
Everybody wants to see him. What do you think these kids are 18, 17, 18, 19 years old coming in from a foreign country, never played D1 college basketball, let alone at the level that Illinois is?
That's true.
Because we're not what we were 6 years ago.
No.
And so to sit and try to want to throw those kids in and to have the one thing I'll say about Luke Goody is he is a great person for the University of Illinois, but it's going to take him time to get into a rhythm and play Luke Goody basketball.
Well said. All right, Lindy, before I let you go, because I got to get you to the game too, how about what let's start with this. I got 2 things. How about what Shauna Green is doing on this Illini women's front? You and I, as mentioned, we've had, in fact, your brother's name was Lance.
Yes. We haven't even talked about that.
Heath just texted in and he said, Lon, I'm so very sorry for your loss. You and your family are in my prayers. Interesting that I used to work with Lindy and my son played travel ball for his brother. I hadn't thought about it until now, though, that both of you lost your brother and your brothers had the same name.
Yes.
And I knew your brother's name was Lance, and it just hit me when he said that. I was like, oh my gosh, that's right.
You've been going through some stuff.
Yeah, right. That wasn't the first thing that popped in my head.
You've been going through for some things like that. It hit me a couple days ago. Even when I first heard the news, it didn't dawn on me that your brother's name was Lance.
That's crazy. That is crazy. All right, Shauna Green. You and we were here when Teresa Grants was getting it done. Those were some fun times covering Illinois. I was lucky enough to cover that team at WAND. And man, you talk about every night out, you expected that team to win. And you're back to that now with Shauna Green, right? Like when they lost that game at home to Indiana, I was very disappointed. Like I was almost mad at the team. And I'm like, man, that feels good.
Did you get a chance to
that
watch
back?
that or
Well,
be there? Because I know it was right at the time.
Right, that was the week. No, we had too much going on, obviously.
So I was. Some of you know me. I work security at State Farm Center.
Yep.
And I got the luxury of being in a pretty good spot that night. It was frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Our point guard, number 0. Can't think of her name, but one of our better shooters.
Right.
Anyway, she kept getting fouls that were knick-knack fouls, and there was a frustrating game. But I can tell you this. I have watched 200 people be in that building, and now I've watched 5,600 people be in that building.
That's
for women's
amazing.
basketball.
That's amazing.
And I've watched the guard play in the women's basketball team, as well as our bigs. They are kind of they were established last year. The bigs were pretty solid, but they brought in guard play this year that at the women's level, having 2 daughters that play the game, I've taken a likeness to it.
Absolutely.
A lot of people struggle to get into the women's game, but I can tell you this: if you can live under the basket, it's a fun game to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And the guard play that she's brought in, the excitement within the program has been a fun turnaround.
It has. It really has. Makaira Cook, of course. Camille Jackson is number 0, but Makaira Cook, number 3. Genesis Bryant has been really good. You know, Kendall Bostic has just continued to play at an unbelievable level for this team. So it's just a fun team, and I had expected to go to that game Wednesday night, and then, of course, everything occurred. So now I am expecting myself to go to a game soon to see them play, and I'm just trying to figure out the parallels between their schedule and Andrews to make that happen. But
high school basketball is fun.
It is, man. How about this week? And I talked about this last week, but he's got what? He's got Ty Pence tonight coming into town to play, and then Friday we're at Bloomington Central Catholic to face the Cole Serta kid, and then a good Leroy team on Saturday. This is going to be an interesting week for little Andrew to go out and see what he can do.
Get after it. Have fun, man.
Exactly. That's what I told him.
You have nothing to –
Nope.
Get after it.
Get after it and go show what you can do, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun, and as you know, that conference STM's the only 1A school in that conference, and they just play these solid teams all year, and it's like, oh my gosh. I mean, but how cool. I know I was never squared up against a Division I player, not only once, but twice in the same week. So I said, well, there's a lot riding on this if you're going to eat or not.
No, I never did it I never did it on a basketball court. I did it on a baseball field once or twice.
Yes.
Never on a basketball field.
Oh, man.
Here's the one thing I'll tell you in basketball. I coached a little AAU, and this is what I'd tell my ladies. You can't make a shot you don't take.
Amen.
If you have an opening,
take it.
Take the shot.
Take the shot. I think he's learning that.
Take the shot.
There were too many games where you'd sit there, and I know his coach sometimes gets on him because he's not taking that shot. But lately he's been taking that shot. So that's all that matters, man. That's all that matters.
Worst case scenario is you miss, get back on defense.
It's a chance for a rebound, right? Chance for a rebound. All right, I'm going to finish with this. Lindy Lushin, our guest, and we didn't plan this. You just happened to be around the Philo area and popped in, and, of course, Pipe's gone. Illinois football, how fun was that this past season, being able to watch that program really have a chance to win the West, really have a chance to play in the Big Ten Championship. They make a bowl game in Tampa. I mean, is there a bet? I mean, what a great season for them.
So if you'd asked me this question after the Purdue game,
yes,
you would have got a different answer.
Okay.
But I can tell you this, setting back with 12 seconds left ahead in a bowl game in Tampa, Florida, playing an SEC school, you wouldn't have got a complaint from me in the world.
Nope.
And I love Illinois fans. Here's the one thing that I've realized. The 2004-2005 road to the national championship, we we as Illinois fans have allowed that to be our marker.
Yes.
And then we forget the in-between days.
I know.
And we set back when we struggle. Basketball, football, whatever, baseball, any sport. We set back when we struggle, and we just beg to be mediocre or to be a part of the conversation.
Right.
And then we become a part of the conversation, and suddenly we're frustrated that we're not the end of the conversation.
Exactly.
I'm okay with the growth.
Okay.
To get there. and I know you're wrapping up, Lon.
No, you're good.
Again, I want to thank you. I was in town here. I got to finish up a job here before I get out of here and get to the game.
Listen, though, one national title would have changed us as Illinois fans completely.
I don't care if you cheat to get it.
Right.
We've had that talk.
But you think about 89. If you win that national title, I don't think Illinois fans are like they are, right? And I'm not saying we're bad. We just want to win, right? We want to prove once and for all that this is a university that is really good at sports. Even though when you look at especially this Illinois basketball squad and look at the history of it, like top 15 nationally in wins and some Final Fours, like 4 or 5 Final Fours. I mean, but it's just if 89 would have gone different, if 04-05 would have gone different, I think we as fans would be more understanding because we would have at least had that. I don't know why that is about sports people, like sports fans like me. Maybe people aren't like this. But for me, when it comes to the St. Louis Cardinals, I don't get as frustrated because they've done what they've done, right? They're considered one of the best franchises in baseball history, right? Obviously.
They're the second best franchise.
Ever.
They're the second most.
Ever. Now, the Arizona Cardinals, on the other hand, they won a championship in 1947. They've gone since 1947 without winning anything.
I'm not 1947, but as a Raider fan, I feel you.
Exactly. But you had your Lester Jackson or whatever back in the day.
I'm old enough to see one.
You're right, exactly. So it's like for a fan, you want other fans to respect you, right? So as a football fan, I don't want to walk into a bar and have everybody going, that guy's a Cardinals fan, which is probably what they do. But it's like, and so for Illinois basketball, as good as Illinois basketball has been, to have gotten one of those national titles, that would have been what we needed to say, well, you know what? But we've won a national title.
Does that take us off the stepbrother list? Is that what it is?
That's probably true. That's probably what it does.
In all reality, you're the winningest program without a championship. Okay, so we're the stepbrothers.
So shouldn't you be...
No offense to stepbrothers out there.
Right, exactly. Shouldn't you be excited about that? You know, but and I think it's funny how we put guys like Steve Stricker, all the success, and it just so happens, coincidentally, he played at Illinois, but all the success Strick had, and he's winning on the senior PGA, he's winning majors on the senior PGA or whatever that's called now, but he never won that major, right? And so for him, he's in that little category, not many are in it, that little category of, well, he's the best to never have won a major. And I sit there and I think to myself, Steve Stricker has won millions of dollars. He's earned millions of dollars. He's had an unbelievable career. He guided the Ryder Cup recently. I mean, you can't ask for a better thing. His wife was his caddy. I mean, what a career is just win a major. And you wonder, are we putting too much pressure on that to where Steve Stricker's sitting there going, you know I'm a millionaire, right? You know I won a lot of tournaments. You know I've had a great career. I've got my health. I've played golf my whole life. Don't worry about me not winning that major, but it's almost like there's this something inside of us, and it's the competitor inside of us that wants to say, yeah, but I won this. And I think every sports fan has that.
That's really easy for us.
It is.
Weren't D1 top athletes.
You're right.
To say.
You're right.
But I can tell you he's put the work in to win a major, and all these kids have put the work in to win a national championship.
Amen.
And I can assure you the times they lost was not because they wanted to.
That's a great point. Lindy, way to bring some perspective, my friend. Great to see you.
Anytime. You too, bud. Like I said, man, I love you and your mom.
Well, thank you.
And
thank
most
you.
condolences I can give to you. And if anything, anytime you need to talk, I get it. because
I appreciate that,
I've been
buddy.
there.
I appreciate that. And one of these days I am going to make it over to the man cave to see the 3 TVs set up.
It's only a 70, a 65, and a 55. You name the game.
I feel bad for you.
And on basketball weekend, we may add in another 55.
Oh, my goodness. This is now ridiculous. Like, I'm going to have overload trying to watch every game on those things.
The
Lindy?
perks of my job.
Exactly. Enjoy the game tonight. Get us a win.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
All right, buddy. We are back. We'll hear from Chris Holtmann. You'll hear from R.J. Melendez and Brad Underwood as Illinois gets set to face the Buckeyes at 6. It is The Drive.
Now, the NIL jersey lineup for your Fighting Illini. Number 55, Sky Clark. Number 15, R.J. Melendez. Number 10, Luke Goody. Number 20, Ty Rogers. Number 0, Terrence Shannon Jr. And number 33, Coleman Hawkins. Get yours at State Farm Center on game day, online or in stores. Game Day Spirit, official fan store of the Fighting Illini.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Don't miss the final days of our Everything BOGO sale. Through Sunday only, you can buy 1 square foot of any floor and get the second foot half off. That's any carpet, any floor. Our hottest selling luxury vinyl floors, durable and pet-friendly carpet, beautiful hardwood, and classic tile. It's all BOGO half off, including our Shaw Floors collection and incredible waterproof Core-Tec floors. Discounts on material only. See store for details. Then shop our amazing selection of furniture, rugs, and accessories. It's all buy one, get one half off. Plus, you can buy any carpet or any floor with special 2 years financing with 0 interest. You'll always find unmatched service from our family-owned business. If you're ready to start a project, we're here for you. Don't miss the Everything BOGO sale through Sunday only at Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. We're flooring people.
Wouldn't it be nice to visit a car dealership where you didn't feel like you were at an auction? Or didn't feel like you were being taken to the cleaners?
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Welcome to Sarah Champagne. At Sarah, they offer a one-price promise. Every vehicle at a fair price, no negotiation, only the best price. Sarah Champagne, Honda, BMW, GMC, Buick, and Subaru. SERRA Champagne.com.
Are you ready to be cool and take the plunge this winter? The athletes of Special Olympics Illinois are counting on you. So join us to plunge Illinois at Mahomet Polar Plunge Saturday, March 11th at the Lake of the Woods. You can register as an individual or team today at plungeillinois.com. Got a school or college group that wants to get in on the chilly action? That's great. Region I hosts the Cool School Challenge and College Cup, a friendly competition to raise the most funds at the Polar Plunge and a chance to win money back for your school or collegiate group. Create a team today and get started. Your efforts will support local Special Olympics Illinois athletes, giving them access to life-changing programming all year long, like competitive sports and training, health education, as well as personal and leadership development. The 2023 Law Enforcement Torch Run Polar Plunge supporting Special Olympics Illinois will be held at Lake of the Woods in Mahomet on Saturday, March 11th. You can get all the info you need to plunge Illinois at plungeillinois.com. Again, that's plungeillinois.com.
The Unity Music Boosters present Alla Acapella on Friday, February 10th with $15 tickets available while supplies last.
The money raised helps Unit 7 music programs.
The Alla Acapella show is Friday, February 10th at 7 p.m., located at Unity High School, 1127 County Road 800 North in Tolono.
The raffle baskets to win have great experiences in restaurants plus spiritware for your favorite teams. Learn more as you visit unitymusicboosters.org to get your tickets today.
Hi, this is Chris Jackson with Kramer Siding and Window, and we're proud to be your choice for the 2021 People's Choice Awards for the 3rd year in a row. We want to say thank you by offering buy one, get one 50% off on all windows. And you can save 10% on roofing, sunrooms, and decks. So call today or visit us at kramersiding.com. And remember, at Kramer Siding and Window, you have a friend in the business.
In an ever-changing real estate market, it is so important to work with experienced agents like Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor teams at Taylor Realty Associates. They have the knowledge and expertise to get your home sold for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. Trust the experience and success of Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor team at Taylor Realty Associates. Give them a call today at 217-355-0700 or visit them online at taylorboys.com. That's taylorboys.com.
When you're buying a battery, it's important to look beyond just the price and make sure you're buying a quality battery. So when you're buying one from the big box store, make sure you ask the question, what's the date on this battery? Is it dependable? Sometimes the big box stores have batteries that have been sitting on the shelf for years. Or you can just come to Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable, and buy your battery from the people who only do batteries. Interstate Batteries at 2504 North Madison, Champaign. Way out there, but totally worth the drive. How much is dependable worth to you? Interstate Batteries open 6 days a week.
Get ready for the 7th annual Champaign County Area Restaurant Week. This 9-day celebration features our diverse and award-winning culinary scene with Filipino, Indian, Cambodian, Thai, Mexican, Caribbean, Italian, Zambian, vegetarian, vegan, soul food, farm to table, and standard American fare. You'll be able to find a restaurant, share your experience, and dine in or take out. It's Restaurant Week, January 27th through February 4th. For details, go to visitchampaigncounty.org.
CU at Home has their one winter night the first Friday in February as the venue CU serves as host to sponsors and volunteers to raise funds for those without a home. The keynote speaker, George Dennehy, will talk about overcoming adversity with a powerful story of hope. Visit his site, thatarmlessguy.com. Stevie J Broadcasting is proud of the awareness created starting at 6 p.m. Friday, February 3rd. For details, visit cuathome.us.
How are you helping support the next generation of leaders and change makers? In 1 hour a week, you can offer the support and guidance a young person needs by becoming a one-to-one mentor in the Champaign-Urbana Public Schools. Join over 450 local adults who are mentoring children. Check out the website cu1to1.org for more information about how you can make mentoring a part of your life.
UC Bank, leading the way to your financial wellness. No matter where your financial journey begins, Pathways banking options at Busey are designed with your goals in mind. Busey Bank, building strong financial futures, one family, one street, one city at a time. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
Carl works every day to improve the health of community members across the region, and it would not be possible without team members like Dwayne Linton, a nationally certified nurse in the emergency department at Carl Foundation Hospital.
I work with a team of people who really care about what they do and are very flexible and adaptive in rapidly changing critical situations, and I would trust any of them at any time.
If you're looking for an opportunity to serve your community like Dwayne in a supportive environment, visit carl.org/careers.
Hey, Illini fans, it's Georgia B at Stevie J Broadcasting, and you are listening to the amazing ESPN Radio 93.5.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. That was really, really fun. Chatting with Lindy. Good stuff, man. I've been loving this, having Jason Thompson, Corey Witt, my buddy, just having them come on whenever Pipes is busy, and I'll have to reach out to some other friends and have them come in. It's just always good to hear a different perspective from what people think, and I think Lindy nailed it with regards to the Illini. I really appreciate, Mike, what you said. Heath, thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words and the support. The support has been incredible, and nobody knows that as much as Lindy, who just ironically, and I had forgotten that his brother, who passed away a few years ago, and then mine that just passed away last week, both named Lance, and just crazy. Also, Derek sending prayers up. I appreciate that as well. So thank you to everyone. I cannot say it enough. The support has been incredible. I mean, it's incredible, and it's just amazing. It just fills your heart. You know, you hear that phrase, that fills my heart. It's true. It really does. All right, we got to win a game tonight. Illinois and Ohio State. Chris Holtmann, he had a chance to chat with his media in Columbus about this game tonight against the Illini.
Beginning with an Illinois team that is really good, really talented, well-coached, tough, obviously really, really hard to play, home or road, but certainly in that environment. Have a really, really passionate fan base that always shows up. I think their wing strength, their wing ability is really impressive and what has carried them. I know, like a lot of teams in college basketball, they've had some times where maybe they've struggled with a relatively new group or a lot of new faces, but a really good team. And then obviously Indiana's super talented, well coached, got really athletic. I think two of the most athletic teams that we'll see all year for sure.
That is Chris Holtmann, Ohio State coach, talking about Illinois and what they'll bring. Well, one of those wings that Chris Holtmann is impressed with is R.J. Melendez. And I know Illinois fans sit and think, man, how would it be, how sweet it would be to get more consistent production out of R.J. Melendez. Brad Underwood touched on that.
When you say R.J. has simplified the game, like it sounds kind of, I guess, easy, but I'm thinking there's probably more to it than to just get somebody to simply simplify. Like, how did you guys kind of work him into that to just play hard like that?
Yeah, for RJ, it's been really simple. Play really, really hard, and show everybody, he's become an outstanding defender. He's got length, he's athletic, and just worry about doing that. Don't clog your mind with, oh man, I got to make this shot, or put pressure on yourself to make every shot. And the game doesn't find you when you do that. So we say simplify. Worry about guarding, and he has done that. And he's taken great pride in just simply, I don't want my man to score. I'm going to do this and do that. And it's not about the other end. And when you play hard, the game of basketball usually finds you, and your shots go in because you're not worrying about them. You get them in the flow of things. And now when you find that, now you can start running some actions to him. Now you can start creating opportunities for him because of confidence. And he's really worked hard at just simplifying. Now we know that ball's going in, so we can do some things with it.
All right, that is Brad Underwood chatting about R.J. Melendez. Certainly, again, it would be wonderful. Maybe we have the R.J. game tonight where he jumps for about 20, and Illinois takes down Ohio State. R.J. had a chance to chat with the local media.
So coaches talked about you just simplifying the game.
Joey Wagner,
just playing hard defensively and that energy. Like, what's gone into just kind of that revelation, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, towards scouting report, like everybody knows, like I'm a good shooter, so they're gonna not be in gas with me. So I gotta find those little parts where I can help the team win and just do those extra plays where at least just crash the boards or play hard defense or just help the team in whatever I can do, because I know like an easy shot's never going to be available for me, so I got to do the extra things so that the team can be available to win and do whatever it takes.
AJ, when you're in that sixth man role, when you come off the bench, do you look to make a little bit more impact than when you're in the starting lineup?
I mean, I'm trying to do the impact whenever I'm in the starting lineup or off. We don't come in at the six man. I see some stuff in the court that could probably help the team out. Like the way they're playing, like maybe on offense, I can see some gaps from outside of the court. So it's just some things that's like a different perspective. But yeah, in or out of the starting five, I'm always going to help the team win.
Yeah, 5 quick points in the last minute and a half, and you had the dunk. Is it good just to see the ball go in over the course of the game? Did that help you at all?
Yeah, I feel like it did. It just gave the whole team a little boost, just a little bit more confidence since we were down like 13 or something like that. So just gave the team some confidence, some energy, and I felt like going into the half. But yeah, like it's good to see the ball go in. It just gives me a little bit more confidence coming into the second half.
Coach mentioned he's seen you take on more of a leadership role with this team. How do you feel about how you've seen your leadership role expand on this team during the season?
Yeah, I feel like I've gotten a lot better towards what I thought about in the summer. But I feel like I still got a long way to go in leadership wise, but I feel like I've done a pretty good job on trying to involve the freshmen in everything that we do, and how our culture stands is just winning an effort. So I feel like I've done a pretty good job on it.
Where do you kind of take that away from guys who came through the program before, or is there somebody you kind of like?
I'd say the veteran from last year, Kofi, Monta, and Trent, and the old guys, and Jake. They were the old guys that always mentor me on how to keep that culture in, and that winning is not easy. So you just gotta sacrifice your body and everything you got on the court so that we can get to that finish line that we got in mind.
What are you seeing out of Luke in practice?
Out of Luke?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of progress through him. He's already working out. I've seen him. He's already running and all that. So it gets me really excited to be able to have him soon back whenever he can come back. So it's a lot of boost for us having him back. So it'll open up the court like a lot more for a lot of guys.
Are you one of those guys that he's playing 1-on-1 and 2-on-2 with so far?
No, because he'd be playing on a separate. Whenever we in practice, he'd be doing workouts and all that while we practice, so that he stays in rhythm and all that.
When you're on that stretch, Coach had talked a lot about that stretch of 19 straight days and all the games. What is that like? Can you kind of walk me through just the mental fatigue as you guys get towards the end of that?
Yeah, it's a little bit of mental fatigue, but we can use that as an excuse for the loss that we just had. Like Coach said, we're not going to win one-on-one games, so we got to make sure as a team, whenever those stretches where we're down by 10, we got to make sure we figure out how to play as a team and find everybody else and make sure you involve everything in the play and not just trying to play one-on-one or something like that. That's something that we got to get better as a team, because some guys just whenever the clock's running down, they get a little bit anxious or something, so we don't know what to do, or whenever the play breaks down, so we just gotta figure out how to move the ball in those certain spots so we can make the team move just like they make us play into a rotation or something like that. So it's just making them pay for mistakes.
Coach Underwood kind of touched on you becoming a lockdown defender. What key aspects of your game have you been focusing on in practice, would you say, just to help you improve on defense?
Just basically defending, because defense translates to offense. So if I play hard on the defensive side, I feel like things are going to open up for me on the offensive side because of the toughness that I'm playing down there, and just going to translate to offense. So I feel like just playing hard defense is going to be a big key for our team, and just being able to lock down one of the best players or whenever they need them.
How'd you spend the 2 off days after going 19 straight?
So the day after, I just went straight back to the gym, worked out, and then the other day I just took a little mental break, just to make sure I stay with myself and know that what's coming now is a big stretch. So we got to make sure we lock in now and just no more losses at home. So make sure every single game that we got to stay firm and roll win, we got to take advantage of that and take that win.
What have you seen about Ohio State on film that might be a challenge for your team?
Really tough team. They're going to crash the glass really hard, so we got to make sure we box them out. Really good. Seki is a great player, great post player, so that's a big challenge for Dane now. And Bryce Sensabaugh, a big challenge for our wings to guard, so I feel like it's going to be a great challenge.
Structure similar to kind of team on the offensively. What kind of key in keeping that, effort and defensive intensity you kind of talked about?
Wait, can you repeat that again?
Yeah, it's just when teams are kind of keen on you offensively or kind of shocked with them.
Want to work at a golf course? Rodham's Golf Management is looking for you. Just come to the U of I Golf Course Saturday, February 4th, 9 to 1 to apply and have an in-person interview. Or Iron Horse Golf Course February 8th from 4 to 7. Who wouldn't want to work at a golf course? Again, Saturday, February 4th, 9 to 1, U of I Orange and Blue in Savoy, or Wednesday, February 8th from 4 to 7 at Iron Horse Tuscola. For details, call Mike Wallner or email Mike at mwallner@uofigolf.com.
A tradition of excellence over 150 years in the making. At Busey Bank, we're committed to building relationships that span generations. Wherever your journey in life leads you, we are with you along the way, creating a legacy for you and your family. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
By now, you've all heard the expression, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 for PDR Automotive. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. But who are they? They, the PDR staff, understand that a name is only as good as the people that represent it. The PDR staff has more than 335 years of combined automotive experience, several employees now on staff for more than 25 years. PDR, more than just a name. Family owned and operated, now celebrating over 50 years in business.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Don't miss the final days of our Everything BOGO sale. Through Sunday only, you can buy 1 square foot of any floor and get the second foot half off. That's any carpet, any floor. Our hottest selling luxury vinyl floors, durable and pet-friendly carpet, beautiful hardwood, and classic tile. It's all BOGO half off, including our Shaw Floors collection and incredible waterproof Cortec floors. Discounts on material only. See store for details. Then shop our amazing selection of furniture, rugs, and accessories. It's all buy one, get one half off. Plus, you can buy any carpet or any floor with special 2 years financing with 0 interest. You'll always find unmatched service from our family-owned business. If you're ready to start a project, we're here for you. Don't miss the Everything BOGO sale through Sunday only at Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. We're flooring people.
Here's what new customers are saying about Interstate Batteries.
It's nice to see capable and helpful associates. They did a top-notch job.
They were easy to talk to and explained everything.
Service was prompt and I was a walk-in. Total service time was only like 20 minutes. I highly recommend Interstate Batteries.
Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. How much is dependable worth? Experience them for the first time at 2504 North Mattis. Way out there, but worth the drive. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable.
Visit interstatebatteries.com.
Capturing the moments in life that matter most is now easier than ever at Prairie Gardens. Imagine the possibilities. Forever preserving those special photos, a family heirloom, artwork that speaks to your heart. Because at Prairie Gardens, you name it, the PG experts will frame it. Every handcrafted custom frame is expertly designed with you and comes with a lifetime guarantee. So when you're ready to frame the moments that matter most, you'll find your framing experts waiting for you at Prairie Gardens. Extraordinary gardening, home decor, boutique, and your custom framing experts.
Hey, Illini fans, it's Georgia B. Catch my boys Lante and Derek Piper weekdays from 4 to 6 on The Drive. Boom, boom, brr.
Thank you, Georgie. As always appreciate that. All right, good stuff. Derek Piper and I ripped through things in the first hour. Second hour, nice to visit with Lindy Lushin, who came in and grabbed the mic, get a little perspective on college sports in general. Big one tonight for the Fighting Illini as they host Ohio State. The Buckeyes at 3-5 in the conference. Of course, Illinois 4-4 overall. So a big one for both of these teams tonight. But Illinois with a win tonight would vault, of course, to 5-4 and be tied with Michigan State for 5th. So you go from 8th to 5th, and it's just crazy. You know, everybody's just bunched up. You've got Rutgers 5-3. Here's what you got: 5-3, 5-3, 4-3, 5-4, 4-4, 4-4, 4-4, 4-4, 4-4, 3-5, 3-5. It's 1 or 2 games. You get on a roll, 1 or 2 games, and you're in great shape. So that's to be the case tonight, and a big one if Illinois can get it done in the Missouri Valley. And I appreciate Jake pointing this out. The Salukis on top of the Valley, tied with Belmont at 8-2. Southern 16-5 overall. They have the Murray State Racers. The Racers 6-4 in conference, so 2 games behind the Dogs. So a big one down in the Missouri Valley tonight. So looking forward to that as always. All right, that is the show. Again, appreciate Lindy Lushin joining us second hour. That was fun. Everybody enjoy the game. Go Illini. It is The Drive.
Illini fans, your place to pregame is Pia's, with great drink specials and food before Illinois hits the basketball court at the State Farm Center. Take the free Illini shuttle, leaving 30 minutes before each home game. Get there early to ensure your seat because Pia's free Illini shuttle only makes one run. Stay in good spirits with your plastic cup on the bus on the way to the game. It's Pia's, 1609 West Springfield Avenue in Champaign. Go Illini!
Fighting Illini men's basketball takes on Nebraska Tuesday, January 31st, inside State Farm Center. Strip. Oh, Clark just took it away. Fast break, Melendez. Layup, got it. And one. You've been looking for the chance to bring your family to a game. This is it. Buy a 4-pack of tickets today for just $99. Tickets are on sale now at fightingillini.com.
Want to work at a golf course? Rodham's Golf Management is looking for you. Just come to the U of I Golf Course Saturday, February 4th, 9 to 1 to apply and have an in-person interview. Or Iron Horse Golf Course February 8th from 4 to 7. Who wouldn't want to work at a golf course? Again, Saturday, February 4th, 9 to 1, U of I Orange and Blue in Savoy. Or Wednesday, February 8th from 4 to 7 at Iron Horse Tuscola. For details, call Mike Wallner or email Mike at mwallner@uofigolf.com.
BMW, Buick, GMC, Honda, and Subaru. Welcome to Sarah Champagne. We can handle all your car repairs on site, including paintless dent repair, bumpers, windshields, everything in between. We have an amazing selection of new or pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Shop from home and buy online or reserve your vehicle before it hits our website or dealership. Sarah Champagne is home of the Sarah One Price Promise, delivering an honest and transparent buying experience. Hurry in or shop online at sarahchampagne.com.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking
You're
that
listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the